Hey guys, it's the Gundam Boy, and today we're going to be talking about the Siegebreaker's Warbond, and we'll be taking a look at all the gear in the Warbond to see if it's worth buying. And no better place to start than with the Trident, one of the new primaries they've added into the game, or technically old since it's from the first game, but let's take a look at its stats. Rocking a damage of 360, fire limit of 2, recoil of 6, and a fire rate of 300. It's light pen, and it has a heat mechanic. Looking more closely at all 6 beams, it has a standard damage of 60 and a durable of 6, not 7. For its attachments, it only has optics and a underbarrel option. There really isn't anything else to it. Also, the iron sights are the last upgrade for the optics. In comparison to the other weapons in its laser family, it actually has a much faster cooldown. One of the few weapons in its laser family that actually has a cooldown rate higher than the rest, allowing you to fire this gun way more often. If you're firing this weapon in a very slow pace, you'll never have to worry about overheating ever again. I would not even bother with firing this weapon in first person though, because it's a laser shotgun. That means none of the lasers are guaranteed to fly in the same direction. In fact, it has a even crazier spread than the Halt shotgun. I'm just saying it has a very unpredictable firing pattern, which can lead to some shots ending up like this. With only 6 beams, it's not surprising, it's a shotgun. I'm just saying it might be a little awkward if the enemy's in the middle, which actually did happen to me. But if I wanted precision, I would have brought the scythe! I mean, if you're using it within close quarter combat, that's where you'll find that functions the best, because, you know, it is a shotgun. But I will not lie to you, it is a funky firing pattern that takes some time to get used to. Even if I did shoot this bot and he survived, the overall fire rate will allow me to just put him back down. Feels like an RNG shotgun. Sometimes you hit the headshot, sometimes it takes multiple clicks. Against the Scout Strider enemies, I'll have to say this shotgun is probably going to struggle. If they don't have a rocket on them and you have to fight a Scout Strider, shooting them in the leg with this shotgun, especially in a head-on situation, can be very difficult with these beams. Overall, good for close quarters, bad for long range. And let's talk about what MC Hammer was hiding in his pants, the Breaching Hammer. And I usually say melee is a suicidal playstyle, but with this hammer, it actually is pretty viable. I fucking hate you! Sporting 300 melee damage and 150 durable at medium pen is nice, but talking about the explosive damage on this thing is crazy. 2,100 damage and an AP level of 6. Jesus Christ. With this level of damage, you can annihilate a majority of chaff enemies without even thinking about it. I will say though, be careful because melee is melee and weird stuff can happen. You know, like dying. Like, that death was so unfair. Arrowhead, I want my reinforcement back for this one. It has enough damage to one-shot bot fabricators, but do look out for the explosion. For most demolition things you should look out, as they do often explode anyways. One of my favorite things to rush down with this hammer is War Striders, as all you need to do is 2-shot them in their leg to kill them, which is really easy since they lack a defense up close. And if you have something like a jump pack, you can get right on top of their head and kill them by hitting them in their noggin. See, look, they even have a little hit here icon for the hammer. If you're gonna use it to kill something like a Factory Strider, it does take around 3 swings at the head to kill it, and you can go after the legs and beat it up and take it down in 4 swings. A monster at killing heavy units, but if you're ever in a situation, that extra blast radius around it with 3 meters allows you to hit several targets. That shockwave, even if they don't die, they're getting pushed around. The amount of Devastators I've annihilated by just hitting the ground in front of me. And even if you don't have any ammo, you can still hit them with the hammer. Going around looting the area, you can use the hammer without the explosive to break open these crates. Just, again, remember, look out for the exploding enemies.
Oh, but Gundam Boy, melee is stinky! See, it didn't even kill me. It can't even be a good weapon!
It was facing the wrong way.
What?
I can't even call it a meme weapon. I've been using this thing like it's serious. Next up, we have the belt-fed grenade launcher. And my grenade launcher goes... And yes, before you go blaming Arrowhead for killing your dog, yes, it is running on a backpack-fed thing, so you need the bag. But I'm gonna be real with you, it's not the reason why I'm kind of iffy about this weapon. Well, let's talk about its stats. So, it has 150 explosion damage at a heavy pen rating, and 0 ballistic damage, which isn't weird. I know it's strange seeing it like that, but even the normal grenade launcher also has no ballistic damage and goes all into the explosive. I've personally been enjoying the belt-fed grenade launcher for its versatility and the ability to dish out a lot of damage within a short amount of time, allows you to cover the area and a lot of explosives. However, when it says that it's like a belt-fed grenade launcher, I know we're thinking about the massive crowd-controlling, heavy pen-killing grenade launcher we're thinking of right now, but I gotta say, this reminds me more of a heavy bolter, having a smaller blast radius and less damage than its grenade launcher counterpart. Overall, you'd have to be way more precise while using this weapon, since its blast radius isn't nearly as big. So to get the most out of the belt-fed grenade launcher, try to aim at least in the general direction of the enemy you're trying to kill, otherwise you'll be wasting a lot of your ammo just by ripping it into the crowd. A cool weapon, but it requires a lot of trigger discipline. Oh, and it can kill out War Striders. I don't know if I said that already, but it does. Then we got the big gun himself, the Leveler, which they basically said, hey, what if we made the ultimatum supersized? Basically, it's a fuck you stick.
I'm out. High priority target neutralized.
So you gotta imagine the damage on this thing can be pretty chunky. It has a ballistic damage of 1,000, and it has a armor pen of 6, whereas explosion goes into 2,500 with an AP of 6 as well. Take note, for the outer radius of its explosion, it's 25 meters. It also has a demolition force of 40, so no killing stratagem jammers. Applying this weapon at long range takes some practice, as the projectile can fly deceptively far, but if you don't angle it high enough, you'll miss the enemy completely. If you're good at calculating trajectory, you can take out base cannons off in the distance. It's an excessive way to deal with enemy patrols that you don't like because they're full of incendiary shotgun guys, or it's a perfect place to be used in our favorite Hell the Hulk Surge. Otherwise, it's a perfect I need to get everything out of this direction weapon. If you're not hitting it in the vent, the bulk fabricator doesn't die in one hit, so I wouldn't recommend using it against these structures. But if you don't want to use it like a pussy at long range, if you take something like the new shield grenade, you can drop it right in front of you and blow up the entire area without even hurting yourself. Never miss again because you're in the center of the blast, which leads me to the perfect segue of the shield grenade. It has a shield capacity of 1,000, but you have a max starting round of 4. Initially, I thought I wasn't gonna like this shield. I thought it was gonna be like doo-doo, and if you think it's doo-doo, please go back to the clip where I survived the nuke. I've even used it to survive situations where I'm close to air support like 500 kilogram bombs. It's overall a great tool for digging into certain positions so you can fire your weapon without the worries of getting shot back at. However, you gotta keep in mind, it's not invincible. It does have a very small health pool and will break after too much fire, but it is a great option for overall defense. And since it takes the place of a grenade, make sure to bring other items for demolition. This clip doesn't have to do with anything. I just thought I was a dumbass for throwing the shield and walking around it like an idiot. And we can't forget about the armors, which I gotta say, they look amazing. But too bad their armor passive isn't. Supplemental adrenaline. When the wearer takes damage, they regain some stamina. Provides a higher armor rating. Kind of like extra padding, but now you get more speed when you're injured. It's almost like they're into BDSM or something. So yes, when you get hit by the enemies, you get some stamina. But I think everyone's reflex is to hit the stim button. And since this armor doesn't provide any defense for your limbs, you can still break your arms like you're in any other armor set. So you'd still hit the stim button anyways, because now you need to fix your arm or aim like shit. There's also the type of enemies you'll be going up against, which won't guarantee you'd survive anyways to feel the stamina boost. And even though I like the heavy armor set's design, I gotta say, when you step in 5 inches of mud and it paints your helmet black, I don't know, man. There's not too much to really say about this armor passive. I think it just stinks. See, look, the armor's so bad that it killed the Thief Soldier. Yeah, sure, you can use it with Dead Sprint and the heavy armor, but I just feel like this is just too risky considering our major order. Cool armor, but So I'll give you my brief thoughts. Trident, yes. Belt-fed grenade launcher, yes, but a bit more damage, please. Breaching hammer, super yes. Leveler, yes, but in all caps. Armor passives, no! But that is the end of my video, guys. What did you personally think about the Siegebreaker Warbond? You guys gonna buy it? What do you like? What do you don't like? Leave it in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time.